Hi everyone, it's Suzanne and welcome to this week's episode of Let's Tap, the show where I bring you one effortless technique that can share with you so many endless life-changing shifts. So tonight's show is all about clearing limiting beliefs. So you might be wondering who I am and what this show is all about, and those are great questions. I'm Suzanne Gundersen and I'm a holistic stress relief mentor, and I help people to be able to relieve anxiety on demand and resolve chronic stress patterns. That way that they can truly move into the life that they want. So I host the Empowered Tapping Revolution, which is a group here on Facebook. And I'm also the program leader of 30 Days for You to Relieve Anxiety and Quit Overthinking. So tonight's show, which is a weekly show on the Akashic Academy, is for me to share with you this amazing technique called energy tapping. So we're going to go over what that is in a few minutes, but let me just say hello to some of the people that are joining us right now. So I'll say hi to Leanne's here. Thanks, Leanne, for being here. And Melody's here. And lovely Angel is here. Beautiful. Thank you all for being here. So you might be wondering, what's energy tapping? So energy tapping is a brilliant self-use acupressure technique where you literally use your fingertips to engage on energy points of the body. And when you're doing that, you're helping to calm the mind and calm the body. And so when you do that, you actually can get to the present moment. And we know we receive everything when we're in the present moment. And so tonight's topic is about clearing limiting beliefs. And so if you have something that you want in your life, whether it's a new relationship, something material like a car or a new apartment or a house, or maybe it's a new job, when you think about that thing that you want, notice where you might be having some resistant thoughts. Some things that say, oh, I don't think that I can have that. Oh, I'm not sure if that's possible for me. I'm not sure if anybody I know has that. How could I have that? And those things that you might say to yourself in resistance to what it is that you want are what we call limiting thoughts and beliefs. And tapping is a brilliant tool to be able to neutralize those limiting thoughts and beliefs in the moment and be able to help you clear the pathway to be able to move toward what it is that you want. So let me say hi to a few more people that are joining here with us. Sam Nelson's here, and Sam saying that she was just thinking about finishing her EFT training. So great timing here, Sam. Hi, Danielle Harper's here. Good afternoon. So thank you all for being here. So let me share with you a little bit about tapping. So tapping, as I mentioned, is a self-use acupressure technique. So just to follow along, I want to share with you the tapping points that I like to use. And whether you've been around tapping for a long time or you're new, know that the energy body has hundreds of tapping points all over them. But for purposes of our show tonight, we're going to use just a few of them. So you're going to take two fingers, either hand, it doesn't matter. And the first point you're going to start tapping on is if you grew your eyebrows together. This is the eyebrow point. We're just practicing here, so just follow along and get a nice bounce between your eyebrows. So right here, if you grew your eyebrows together, get a nice bounce there. And you want to actually do it so you can feel it and maybe even hear a patting sound. So if you can hear a patting sound, then you know you're really engaging that energy meridian. And then the next point is on the side of the eyes. So right here, and you want to just take two fingers and start to tap on that point. We're just practicing if you're joining us. And then under your eye, on the top of your cheekbone right here, two fingers, getting a nice bounce where you can hear that patting sound, really engaging that energy meridian. And then you're going to take all four fingers on both hands and get a nice bounce right on your collarbones, right there. And then finally, grab the opposite wrist with one hand and squeeze it around a couple of times. So those are the points that I like to use. Between the eyes, side of the eye, under the eye, on your collarbones, and grab your wrist. And as I mentioned, if you've been doing tapping for a while, you might say, hey, Suzanne, you missed a couple points. But it's okay because they're all interconnected. Our energy system is one system of interconnected meridians. We have rivers of energy that flow from our head to our feet called meridians, and they're all interconnected through the organs of the body. And so when you tap on one meridian, it's like you're saying, hey, get that energy going, get that energy flowing. And our energy likes to flow in a figure-8 pattern. So no matter if you tap on every single energy point that you know, or if you just tap on the few that I share with you, you're literally circulating the energy body to be able to integrate and process whatever it is that is in your perception that's keeping you stuck and struggling. So again, between the eyes, side of the eye, under the eye, on your collarbone, and then grab your wrist. Those are the points that we're going to use tonight. And so how often do you tap? Well, how do you engage it? You want to hear a patting sound. You want to hear it enough where you're hearing that patting bounce. You're actually really engaging the energy system. If you do it too lightly, you're not going to be really getting that energy to circulate. And certainly you don't want to do it hard enough where you hurt yourself. So somewhere in between where it's kind of neutral, but you can hear that patting sound. Let me read a couple more comments and say hello to people. And thank you everyone for who's here and who's sharing this. I really appreciate it. Joyce Anna's here. Melody Williams. Lori Hadeen, hello. Margarita. Danielle asks, thank you for sharing. It doesn't matter which ones you tap. I get hung up if I'm doing it right. Yeah, you can't mess this up, Danielle. You just can't mess it up. I mean, your entire body is an energy system. So anytime you tap at any point, you're getting that energy moving. Cecilia's here. Okay, Marcos, hang in with us. We're going to do some more tapping. So tonight's topic is about clearing limiting beliefs. And so I really wanted to get into where you might have limiting beliefs in your life. So first, let's talk about, again, what are limiting beliefs? They're little niggling thoughts that don't stop and that keep us from getting what it is that we want. So maybe you have something that you want right now. Maybe you want to sell a house. Maybe you want to buy a house. Maybe you want to get something new in your life. Maybe you want to repair something in your life. Whatever it might be, share with me and pop it in the chat window and tell me what it is that you're going for in your life right now. Are you working on some type of personal development? Maybe it's an old traumatic, wound that you've had. Maybe it's a pattern that you're wanting to let go of. Maybe it's some type of addiction that you might have. Or maybe it's something more physical. Maybe it's a car or something that you really want in the material world. So share with me what it is that you might be wanting right now in your life. And then when you think about that thing that you're wanting, notice where there might be some resistance that comes up, where you say, that little voice inside of you says, I don't know about that. Nobody in my family has that. How could I have it? Or I don't think that's possible for me. Nobody I know can get that. Or that just seems really far reaching. Or maybe it's not that maybe I don't deserve to have it. Maybe I believe that I'm not worthy enough to have that. Or people like me don't have that thing, can't get that thing. And those types of statements would be limiting thoughts and beliefs. They're limiting you. They're stopping you from having what it is that you want. And so when you think and have awareness of these limiting thoughts and beliefs, there is momentum of energy behind those beliefs, those thoughts. There is meaning and attachment that you have to what those statements are that you tell yourself. And there's also a reaction in your body for how your body has a specific cellular memory and imprint for how it responds to the statements and the thoughts and the beliefs that you talk about with yourself. And what tapping does is it helps you to regulate the momentum of that energy body, to keep that energy moving. It helps you to detach from any specific meaning that might have you feeling unworthy, unsafe, and impossible to achieve this thing that you want. And it also helps your energy body to be able to help your nervous system circulate and clear things at a cellular level all the way back through the generations where you may be carrying patterns that are keeping you stuck and limited in your life. So let's see what some folks have shared with us. Let's see, Carla's here. Hey, Carla. Philippa is here. Danielle says, quitting smoking and taking what others think of me personally. So isn't that great? So that's something that Danielle wants, is to quit smoking and stop taking what other people think of her personally. Melody asks, physical healing. Yes, absolutely. So if you've got some type of, if you have chronic migraines, or maybe you have some type of an irritable bowel, or maybe you've got chronic fatigue, and you want this to change, but you think, oh, I've just tried it so many times, it doesn't work for me. What I'm trying to get with you at right now is everyone to think about something that they want and see where they hit a ceiling of a limit and what they think about it and what that thought is. And just notice that thought. Cecilia says, developing my painting. Joyce Ann says, healing my DNA. Danielle says, I need to get past being understood by others. I am learning that those that are meant to understand me will and those that won't may never. And that's beautiful. That's so true, Danielle. So everyone, let's, Lovely says to get rid of PCOS. So definitely we can work on that. So everyone's got a different story about where they might feel limited right now. And that's great. So everyone, I'm going to teach tapping in the 4 easy steps. And so step number 1 is notice what bothers you and how it bothers you. So you've all identified for yourself what it is that you want, whether it is a physical improvement in your body's health. Maybe it is a material thing that you want. Maybe it is just self-improvement. Whatever it is that you want, just identify that thing that you want. And then in your identifying of it, notice where you've got a little bit of a rub, where you're feeling a little bit limited. And whatever those thoughts are, just notice those thoughts. I can't do it. I don't know how to have it. I've been stuck for so long this way. It never works out for me. Nobody I know gets it this way. My family doesn't know how to have it. What would happen to me if I got what I wanted? All of these are limiting thoughts. So let all those thoughts come to you right now. And notice how your body reacts to those limits. Notice where you might feel some contraction, a tightness, a tension. Or maybe you just hear some noises or voices, and maybe it's your own voice saying, oh, it's just not going to happen for me. I can't get over this. This is not going to ever come for me. Whatever it might be. See those movies in your mind. Maybe you see them as images or little slideshows or pictures that you've created of how you're being denied the thing that you want, that you're limited from what you want. So step number 1 of tapping is always notice what bothers you and how it bothers you. So you have identified something that you want, and then you found where there's a rub, where you're just not able to get over the hump of what it is that, of being a receiver to what it is that you want. And then step number 2 of tapping is to get a sense of the intensity in which you're experiencing this resistance. On a scale of 0 to 10, if 0 is it doesn't bother you and 10 is it really bothers you, give it a number. What intensity do you experience this resistance of, I can't have this thing that I want. It's not coming for me. It's not happening for me. Whatever it is, I don't know how to solve it. I don't have the answers. I've tried so many different ways. How intense do you experience that? And try and find something that's higher than a 6. And then step number 3 of tapping is you want to go to the part that stands out the most. Meaning, if you think, well, I really wanted that car, but I just don't have the money. I'll never have the money for it. Or I really want to get over my PCOS, but I've had it for so long, I can't imagine ever living without it. Go to those worst statements that you say to yourself, the ones that are really, really self-critical. And the reason why we have to do that is because we want to get as close to the root of this subconscious pattern that's keeping you stuck. And how you do that is you get brutally honest with where you're talking to yourself in limitation. So don't be afraid to say it, because when you say it right now, you're getting really close to the root. In step number 4 is we're going to be tapping at the same time while you're close to the root. And what does tapping do again? Tapping circulates the energy body. That way we can regulate the momentum and the speed and the intensity in which we're experiencing that problem and that stress. It helps us to detach from the meaning that has us stuck and struggling about it. And it helps our nervous system at a cellular level be able to release and clear whatever we might have from old generational patterns. So again, step number 1, find what bothers you, what limits you. Step number 2, give it an intensity number on a scale of 0 to 10. Find something that's higher than a 6. Step number 3, press on the pain a little bit and get to those really, really self-critical types of thoughts and beliefs, those limiting ones, the ones that are keeping you stuck. And then step number 4 is we're going to tap. So everyone get ready, 2 fingers, either hand, both hands, doesn't matter. start tapping between your eyes. Repeat out loud after me and say, I'm limited. I can't have this thing that I want. I only dream about it, but it hasn't happened for me. I'm stuck. I'm blocked. And I'm limited. This thing that I want, I really want it, but I have a lot of thoughts that are in the way. Maybe I even have a lot of evidence and proof that I'll never get it. This limiting belief, these limiting thoughts, stuck in my body as an old emotional habit, as an outdated belief system. I'm willing right now to let it go. And then tap on your collarbones. These limiting thoughts, these limiting beliefs, all the intensity that I experience them, all the meaning behind these limiting thoughts, how my body has reacted with this limitation. I'm willing right now to help my body and my mind to process and clear these blocks. And then tap between your eyes again. It's safe to clear these blocks. Whatever that moment in time was that block got created, I clear it. It's possible to clear these blocks. I deserve to clear these blocks. Clear these limits, the chronic thoughts of limitation, just setting them free, clearing them all the way back through my past, clearing them back through the generations, allowing my body and my mind to be present with my choices and move forward with my desires, clearing any and all limitations I may have had, no matter where they came from or what they mean. And then tap between your eyes. I'm now open to possibility that there's pathways to get what I want, pathways to a healthy body, pathways to a healthy mind, pathways to being an open receiver to what it is that I truly want. I am unlimited. I am valuable. Clearing any worry, fear, stress that may have covered up that information. I am now an active receiver, limitless for whatever it is I want. And healthy mind, healthy body, for my highest and best good. And then take one hand and squeeze the opposite wrist a couple times. Take a nice, easy breath. Blow it out. Say the word clear. Now in your mind, body, I want you to go to some place where you feel completely free. Maybe it's the imagination and sensation of flying. Maybe you're watching a bird fly. Maybe you're walking on the beach. Maybe you're in your soft bed with your most comfortable pillow. Go to some place that you feel really comfortable and free. And when you're there, make it as strong as you possibly can. Look at it, hear it, smell it, touch it in your mind, body. Be in that experience. Step into your body, into that place of complete freedom. Make it a 10 on a scale of 0 to 10. And when you're there, tap between your eyes, repeat out loud after me, and say, this is who I truly am. Sight of the eye, naturally and easily. This free feeling is inside of me. I create it, like I create all things. And this free feeling feels so good. I truly am unlimited in this free feeling. I'm going to practice it more often. And then grab your wrist and squeeze it a couple times. Take a nice easy breath. Blow it out. Say the word peace. Now I'm really interested to see how your experience was about that. So share with me, pop it in the chat and let me know how that went for you. Go back to that thing that you were really wanting before and see if there's more of a loosening, a softness about it, that you've actually just maybe helped the energy get a little bit more untangled and get a little bit looser to be able to integrate with the rest of the energy body in that figure eight pattern. So I'm eager to hear from you. So pop in the chat. Let me know what it is that you were focused on, or tell me what number you had as intensity to begin with and how you're feeling now. And I'll share with you that when you're tapping, you might have a couple of different sensations that you experience. One, you have a tingly sensation all over your body, or maybe just a specific part of your body. Or maybe you're just noticing a real relaxation of your muscles and your joints and your tendons. Or maybe you yawned or took a spontaneous breath. And all of those are signs and signals that the energy body is shifting from one state to another. And that's what we really want. We are stuck in the energy system. We want to just start tapping to be able to loosen it up and be able to integrate it with the rest of the energy body. And we might experience that differently in our physical form. Like I said, yawning or spontaneous breath or a tingly sensation are all amazing experiences that you might have had when you were doing some tapping. So if you had any of that, feel free to share that in the chat as well. I'm going to read some comments here. Amanda McPhillips here. Hello from Chicago. Hope you're enjoying a nice spring up there. Lovely said she started to smile. How amazing. Lyle White says was an 8 and now 4. Brilliant. And Danielle says, I feel empowered and loved your self-talk. Thank you. Cecilia says, yes, I feel lighter and tingly. Brilliant. Yes, lighter and tingly. When we're carrying around these emotional habits and beliefs that are literally weighing us down, holding us back, limiting us, it can be very heavy and dense. And when we start to tap, we are lightening up because our energy is being lifted from those burdens. So wonderful. Thank you, Cecilia, for sharing that. Lori said she focused on being on the beach in the water with the seagulls flying and the calmness, feeling more relaxed and tingly feeling all the time. This is where we need to be, ladies and gentlemen. We need to be in a place of feeling that freedom, that safety, that unwavering trust. It's in those experiences in our mind body that we are able to have complete open pathways to being the receiver to what it is that we want. So when we have something that we want and we're experiencing limiting thoughts and beliefs and storylines and remembering old patterns of stories and memories from the past that are keeping us living in the past, tapping helps us to calm the mind, calm the body, get present, and then we can redirect our energy wherever we want to go with the lightness of being on the beach, like Lori said. I'm reading some more comments here. So Lovely says she was a 9 and now very relaxed. Welcome, Tanya Shea Jackson. Cornwall's here. Awesome. Carla says, thank you. Very powerful. Amazing. So this show is every week. It's called Let's Tap, and I come on and share some tapping basics. You're always invited to ask me any questions that you have about tapping. This is just my short way of giving to you this incredible, empowering technique to help you in the moment. I specialize on helping people be able to relieve anxiety on demand and resolve chronic stress. I have a Facebook group called the Empowered Tapping Revolution. There's a link in the description box of this video where you're all welcome to come and join me and 2,500 other women who are over there right now in reprogramming their stress and revitalizing their energy and reclaiming their power. So please come and join us over at the Empowered Tapping Revolution if you're not already a member with us. And it's a free group. Also, if you're interested in a personalized mini tapping experience with me, there's a link in the description box of this video to find time that you're available for us to connect on video chat so you can have an experience personally to be able to help you to relieve your anxiety and resolve your chronic stress. That way you can start to shift from what it is that you don't want to what it is that you do want. And oftentimes we don't even know what we want yet because we're just so, mired in what it is that we don't want. It just is so evident to us. It surrounds us. And so tapping really helps us get out of that tornado of being reactive to the overstimulating world that we live in, the pressure that we're under, and how our bodies have different levels of resiliency to handle all of that. So if you're interested in a personalized mini tapping experience, jump on my calendar. There's a link in the description box of this video. I'm going to read a few more comments here. If anybody has any questions about tapping, feel free to pop them in the chat window. Shawnee Clark says, definitely a sense of calmness, and I got goosebumps all over. That's great. I love that. Tanya Shea Jackson Cornwall, I'm in the country and woke up this morning and have been experiencing an amazing day. That's brilliant. And Lori says, thank you. Wonderful. Well, I thank you all for being here. Again, this is the Let's Tap show every Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern time, and I think on repeat on Tuesdays at 6 a.m. Eastern time at the Akashic Academy. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Please join my group, the Empowered Tapping Revolution. It's a free group for you to learn how to reprogram your stress, revitalize your energy, and reclaim your power. And if you're interested in a free personalized mini tapping session with me, hop on my calendar. And I'm happy to jumpstart your success and break through your limits to be able to get you on the road to what it is that you want in health and wellness. Thank you so much for listening to me tonight. I appreciate all of your comments and questions and staying with me here. And I will see you next week.